There's something powerful about mastering actions that don't require a single word to convey your worth. The way you carry yourself, the silent boundaries you set, and the unspoken energy you bring into a room can speak volumes. You don't need to shout to be heard or bend to be loved. What you need is to step into your own authenticity with courage. Authenticity is the cornerstone of a meaningful and respected life. It's about showing up as your true self, not the version of you that you think others want to see. When you operate from a place of authenticity, you invite others to respect not just what you do, but who you are at your core. This is where silent actions take center stage. Think about how you walk into a room. Without saying a word, your body language, presence, and demeanor convey whether you are grounded in yourself or trying to fit into a mold. Authenticity doesn't require you to dominate a conversation or prove your worth verbally. It's reflected in your quiet confidence, your ability to be present, and your willingness to remain true to your values even when it's uncomfortable. Living authentically begins with self-awareness. You must first understand who you are, what you stand for, and what you will and will not accept. This clarity allows you to move through the world with purpose and intention. People can sense when someone is real, when their actions align with their beliefs. They can also sense when someone is putting on a facade. Authenticity is magnetic, and it draws respect because it's rare. Silence becomes powerful when it is backed by authenticity. For instance, consider how impactful it is to decline an opportunity or say no to a request without over-explaining or apologizing. This simple act demonstrates that you trust your judgment and respect your own boundaries. The quietness of your actions, your ability to hold your ground without justification, communicates strength and self-respect. Authenticity also means embracing your imperfections. It's not about being flawless, but about being real. When you acknowledge your flaws without shame, you create a space where others feel safe to do the same. This kind of transparency fosters respect because it shows the courage to be vulnerable and human. It's a silent invitation for others to drop their masks and connect on a deeper level. But authenticity isn't just about how you show up in public, it's also about how you treat yourself when no one is watching. Do you keep the promises you make to yourself? Do you align your actions with your values? The respect you cultivate for yourself in private inevitably spills into your interactions with others. People value authenticity because it's trustworthy. When you are consistent in who you are, others know what to expect from you. Your words carry more weight, your presence holds more significance, and your actions inspire more admiration. Authenticity doesn't demand respect, it commands it through silent, steady integrity. Ultimately, authenticity is about living in alignment with your truth, even when it's hard. It's about being brave enough to let your actions speak louder than your words. When you master this, you'll find that the respect you earn is not just surface level, it's deep, enduring, and profoundly genuine. Boundaries are one of the most powerful tools we have to communicate our value, and yet they are often misunderstood or undervalued. Setting boundaries is not about being cold, distant, or selfish. It's about self-respect. It's about recognizing your needs, limits, and priorities and having the courage to honor them. When you establish and maintain healthy boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You show them that you value yourself and that they should too. Boundaries begin with self-awareness. To set meaningful limits, you must first understand where you stand. What are your non-negotiables? What drains your energy? What uplifts you? Answering these questions requires introspection and honesty. Once you're clear on what you need to thrive, you can begin to communicate those needs effectively, not through confrontation, but through quiet, consistent action. One of the most compelling aspects of boundaries is their silent power. For example, when you decline an invitation or say no to an unreasonable request without over-explaining, you're setting a boundary. You're saying, I value my time and energy enough to choose how I spend it. This kind of quiet assertion communicates strength and self-respect without the need for conflict or drama. Boundaries also play a crucial role in fostering healthy relationships. When you set clear limits, you create a framework for trust and mutual respect. People know where they stand with you, and that clarity can prevent misunderstandings and resentment. Conversely, when you fail to set boundaries, you risk overextending yourself and feeling taken advantage of, a scenario that often leads to bitterness and strained relationships. The beauty of boundaries is that they don't need to be loud or confrontational to be effective. Sometimes it's as simple as walking away from situations that don't align with your values or refusing to engage in gossip or negativity. These silent actions send a powerful message: I respect myself enough to choose environments and interactions that reflect my worth. It's also important to remember that boundaries are not just about keeping others in check, they're about protecting your well-being. They allow you to conserve your energy, focus on your goals, and maintain your peace of mind. When you respect your own boundaries, you're better equipped to show up fully and authentically in your relationships and pursuits. Of course, setting boundaries isn't always easy. It requires courage to risk disappointing others or facing criticism. But the rewards are immense. Each time you honor a boundary, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. You remind yourself and others that your needs and limits matter. Ultimately, boundaries are an act of love, both for yourself and for those around you. They create a framework for healthy, respectful interactions and ensure that your energy is directed toward what truly matters. By mastering the art of setting and maintaining boundaries, you not only elevate your own sense of value, but also inspire others to treat you with the respect you deserve. Confidence is often mistaken for something you're either born with or not, but in reality, it's a skill, one that is cultivated over time through self-awareness and intentional inner work. True confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room or having all the answers. It's about knowing who you are, trusting your abilities, and holding steady in your values and choices, regardless of external circumstances. Self-awareness is the foundation of confidence. When you know yourself deeply, your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and fears, you create a solid base upon which confidence can grow. This self-awareness comes from reflection, learning, and a willingness to face the parts of yourself that may feel uncomfortable. It's not about perfection, it's about being honest with yourself and accepting who you are at every stage of your journey. Our inner work plays a vital role in this process. Inner work means confronting the beliefs, habits, and fears that hold you back. It involves asking tough questions. What are you afraid of? Where are you seeking external validation? What narratives about yourself are no longer serving you? Addressing these questions requires courage, but it's through this process that you free yourself from self-doubt and step into a more confident version of yourself. Confidence isn't built overnight. It grows incrementally, often in the smallest moments. It's in saying yes to opportunities that scare you, trusting yourself to handle challenges, or showing up authentically even when you feel vulnerable. Each small action adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. Over time, these small wins build a sense of trust in yourself that becomes unshakable. It's also important to understand that true confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to be validated by others or broadcasted to the world. A confident person can sit in silence, comfortable in their own skin, without needing to prove anything. They can make decisions without needing everyone's approval. This quiet confidence is what draws people, and it's magnetic, not because it demands attention, but because it exudes self-assurance. A key aspect of confidence is self-compassion. Confidence isn't about never failing, it's about how you handle failure when it happens. When you're kind to yourself in moments of struggle, you create the resilience needed to keep going. Instead of letting setbacks define you, you see them as opportunities for growth. This resilience is the backbone of lasting confidence. Finally, confidence is deeply tied to your values. When you live in alignment with what truly matters to you, your confidence naturally grows. It's easier to stand tall when your choices reflect your integrity and beliefs. You stop seeking external approval because you're grounded in something much more solid: your own sense of purpose and self-worth. In essence, confidence is a journey, not a destination. It's a practice of consistently showing up for yourself, learning from your experiences, and choosing to believe in your worth. Through self-awareness and inner work, you cultivate a confidence that is steady, genuine, and deeply rooted in who you are. Human connection is one of the most profound aspects of life. It's what gives relationships depth, meaning, and purpose. At the heart of connection lies vulnerability, the courage to show up as you truly are, to let people see your fears, hopes, and dreams. Vulnerability is the birthplace of genuine connection because it allows others to feel seen and understood. However, vulnerability must be balanced with discernment, as not everyone deserves access to your most authentic self. Trust is the bridge between vulnerability and connection, and it is built over time through consistent, intentional actions. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, but it's actually a profound strength. It takes immense courage to open yourself up to others, knowing there's a risk of rejection or judgment. When you're vulnerable, you invite others to meet you at a deeper level. You say, "This is who I am, my strengths, my flaws, my fears," in doing so. You create an opportunity for genuine connection. People are drawn to authenticity because it breaks down walls and fosters mutual understanding. But while vulnerability is essential, it must be offered with care. Discernment is the skill of knowing when, where, and with whom to be vulnerable. Not everyone has earned the right to hear your story or hold your trust. Discernment helps you protect yourself from unnecessary hurt while still allowing you to show up authentically. It's about recognizing the difference between someone who will honor your vulnerability and someone who may exploit it. Trust is the foundation upon which vulnerability thrives. Trust is not given freely, it's built incrementally through actions, consistency, and respect. When someone shows you they can be relied upon, that they honor your boundaries, and that they genuinely care, they earn your trust. Trust, once established, creates a safe space where vulnerability can flourish, deepening the connection between individuals. It's also important to remember that trust works both ways. Just as you evaluate whether someone has earned your trust, others are doing the same with you. Your actions, words, and consistency play a significant role in whether people feel safe being vulnerable with you. The way you respond to their openness, whether with empathy, respect, or judgment, can either strengthen or weaken the connection. At its core, connection is about balance. It's the interplay between opening yourself up and protecting your inner world. Vulnerability without discernment can leave you feeling exposed, while discernment without vulnerability can leave you feeling isolated. When you strike the right balance, you create relationships that are both meaningful and safe. True connection doesn't happen overnight. It's built layer by layer as trust grows and vulnerability is met with care. Each interaction is an opportunity to deepen that bond, provided it's handled with respect and intention. In the end, connection is a dance between courage and wisdom. It's about being brave enough to let others in while being wise enough to protect what is sacred. When you master this balance, you build relationships that are rich, fulfilling, and rooted in mutual trust and respect. Mastering these silent actions is not just about earning the respect of others, it's about embodying the respect you already hold for yourself. When you step into authenticity, uphold your boundaries, cultivate quiet confidence, and build meaningful connections through vulnerability and discernment, you communicate your value without uttering a word. These practices are not flashy or loud, they are steady and profound. They reflect a deep sense of self-awareness and inner strength. People are drawn to those who know their worth, who live with intention, and who connect with others from a place of authenticity and respect. Remember, your actions speak volumes. When you consistently align with your values, protect your energy, and show up as your true self, you set the tone for how others will engage with you. The respect and value you seek from others begin with the respect and value you give to yourself. So carry yourself with integrity. Let your silence be filled with purpose, your presence exude confidence, and your connections reflect genuine care. In doing so, you will not only earn the admiration of others, but also create a life that is deeply aligned with your truth. You don't need to demand value from others when you live in this way, it is naturally given.